Tonight is a very special night as we are starting off with a brand new pattern to make a new bag. And this pattern here is a bit different because it cycles through colors. And our objective is to basically put together these 8 loops together in a way that all of the colors flow from one to the next, and it's going to be a little bit
That's so weird. Why is the
complicated, but
volume like
I'll be
nothing
sure
for
to
the
explain
video?
that as we go along. So yeah, let's roll that intro. Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AKAAWOL, and we're going to do some more work on the bag here today. We got quite a bit done last week, so it's a whole cylinder and everything, and I'm kind of really excited about the progress that's been made. So we're just going to rotate that around a little bit. But before we get into everything, I do want to remind everybody that we have the secret word game is back, and yeah, I am really excited at the prospect that one of you guys are going to win this thing here one of these days. All you have to do is chat, and you stand a chance of actually winning just by what you text into the chat, right? So that's all it takes. All right. I'm joined by my lovely wife, Mandy. And yeah, we're going to get busy on making stuff. I took a little minute there to get things going. I needed to make sure the bots and stuff were working and all that so we could have both the regular stream as well as the vertical stream, which seems to be working now. So yay. All right, let me kind of sort out some strings here really quick so I can figure out what we're working on here next. Kind of falling behind on the whole chat thing over there. So we got Roberts here, Rara's, everybody here. Wow, this is fantastic. Welcome, guys. All right. I have been absolutely just grinding it here today, just working so hard to get things ready for some future tutorials and things, and it's just been chaotic. And suddenly coming into this, I'm like, wait, where was I? What am I doing? I feel lost. So kind of bear with me while I kind of get my head wrapped around the project itself. It's going to take me a hot minute. The week off has been good, very good actually. Much kind of probably needed for the old brain and stuff. We got away for a few days. I don't know if you guys can see it, but behind me there's a new addition. Is it yeah, that side over there. Mandy and I, while away, put together this Lego type thing that is pretty darn amazing. It's like Legos, but it has like these little pieces. They're like really thin little things that makes it so that way your pieces lock into place, kind of like screwing it together. So it's really, really cool. I'm pretty excited about it. I thought it was a lot of fun. Hopefully Mandy did as well. She says she did. So hopefully she had as much fun as I did. It was pretty neat. So yeah, this is the part where I'm getting close to the area where things get potentially go wrong. So I have to sort of, cause see how the little S thing is on one side, the next one over goes in the opposite direction. So I just have to be really kind of cautious to, just basically pay attention to what I'm doing. And yeah. And for some odd reason, I'm still really confused. this side came this way, so it's this one. It's funny because it's so I don't know. It's difficult. Gonna take a little getting used to. It never seems to fail. By the time I'm starting to like really get into the pattern and everything is just cruising along and I'm really have it all kind of figured out is basically about the time that I'm almost done with the whole thing. So I suppose that's probably true with most patterns. All right. So like I was saying, this is a bag for anybody who's new, and I see that there's a bunch of people checking in over on the vertical stream. If you're new here, I'm basically taking embroidery floss and tying a bunch of knots until it becomes a bag, which is kind of different. And it's kind of something I've been doing for a while now. I've made quite a few over the years. In fact, some people, that's what they know me for best. So it's kind of a thing. I like it. I actually have a video coming out here soon that shows quite a number of them that have been made. I needed to take photographs because I need to make some posts because, well, because I'm not using link in bio anymore, basically. Oh, something about that. Yeah, so link in bio, the guys from later over there that do the thing for Instagram. Yeah, so we've been kind of emailing kind of back and forth because I contacted them for their support. And they kind of got back with me and were like, just, you know, because it says my antivirus says that the site is phishing. And they told me to just turn it off, at least temporarily, or that I should get a hold of them and find out why is the antivirus doing this. So I kind of lost my mind, basically. I was like, wait, I kind of feel this is your job. Why am I doing this when your service is going to make a bad impression on the people that I have directed there from my own artwork? You're making me look bad. You should be the one fixing this. They gave it a couple days and they came back with an email to tell me that so it looks like everything's all done. We're done here. You're okay. Thanks. If you have any other questions. It's like, really? We're done, huh? Okay. I guess that's why you guys are called later, because yeah. So now I have a thing. It's called the Instalink, and that's available over on Instagram, or you can just kind of go to it. It's, I don't know. It's Instalink over on my website. It's under the tutorials. You can actually find it there. And it's got lots of pretty pictures. And if you click on any one of those, it'll take you to the tutorial. There it is. Mandy just posted it on the chat thing. You can go there and you can look at any of the pictures and it'll take you to the tutorial. And most of my tutorials include making the pattern and making the bracelet or bag or whatever it is. So depending on what the tutorial is, I guess. So yeah, you can go over there, check it out. It's my solution to their problem that they created. So yeah, I didn't want to call it like link in bio. I didn't want them to be like, that's our patented thing or whatever. So it's Instalink. But yeah, I'm not gonna have something like that spoiling my reputation. Because of course, anybody who clicks on it is, and gets a warning from their antivirus is going to assume that it's my fault, that there's something wrong, and I'm not cool with that. I don't think that's what I want for my channel. Um, and it's unfortunate because I kind of feel like the guy at the help desk, he's just got a regular little job. Like I worked in a help desk. I know what it's like. You don't make a lot of money. Your your job is not to try to keep the company's lights on. So yeah, I mean, so what? Guy leaves, you did what you were supposed to do. You answered questions, you did whatever. So like that's the end of his job kind of thing. But in the overall scheme of things, um, there's a lot of people who have this problem, and I don't know if everybody's going to have the same kind of attitude that I had, but I suspect they kind of should. I mean, because I looked this up. I looked it up to see if other people were having problems with LinkedIn, link in bio, and yeah, totally, there is. Um, some people suspected it was the fault of Instagram, that Instagram saw so many people clicking on these links that they suspected it to be scammy or something. But that doesn't fly. That doesn't make any sense. And if it was that, then later should get a hold of Instagram and say, hey, we work with you guys and we do stuff. Please don't mark us off as being the bad guys or something to that effect, but they should be the ones to take care of it. That doesn't, I can't, like, let's say I resolve it with my antivirus. That doesn't mean that it's going to be resolved for any of my viewers. And I don't, what am I supposed to do? Post instructions for any of my viewers who run into this trouble? That doesn't seem like, you'd have to be like following every single post to know that at any given point kind of thing. And people don't. People just catch things here and there. So it's not in my interest to be the one to resolve anything. So now that it's all on my own web page, I can deal with my own stuff and make sure that my own stuff is good code and, you know, that kind of thing. So that's where we are now. In case anybody was kind of curious about the drama, I kind of had it with them. I really just, whatever. Although, honestly, if somebody higher up like came out and like, hey, we heard what's going on and we want to fix it, that would be cool. I'd be willing to talk. I haven't written them off completely. I'm just at this point, there's no reason for me to continue with their service. So that's where we are. Anyways, I really like the way this bag is coming out. These little shapes, these little S things or whatever, very, very cool. I think I showed you guys last week the strap that Mandy made for it. It's all the colors of the rainbow that is actually in this bag with the darks, because there are more dark strings than there are the light ones. And I thought that would kind of make more sense. But now that I'm kind of this far into it, I realized that like the light color is what really pops out the most. It's probably because it's sandwiched between the darker ones, that really gives it that kind of contrast that really makes it so vibrant. But I still stand by the idea that the strap is just dark grays in the rainbow, so it still looks cool. Yeah, I got a little confused during the intro part. I couldn't hear the volume to any of the intro thing. I thought that maybe it wasn't working right, but it seems, I guess it did. Yeah, we've had some silky flosses before, but because it does not work out well for knotting, we don't do the glossy stuff here. It just doesn't work out for most of everything I do. I do have a bunch that I picked up while we were in Thailand, and I plan on mixing it with cotton so that way it should stay in place and give some shiny effect. Um, I could probably do that kind of soon, just because I would like to see the outcome of that. There's just like I have so many ideas, so much stuff I would like to work on. Um, it just never seems to be enough time in the day to do all the things I want. I didn't get around to making the schedule for the week, but basically I think it's Wednesday and Friday off. The rest of the days I will be streaming for the members. So if you're a YouTube member, you can watch kind of behind the scenes and see what kind of things I'm working on and how crazy I'm making myself, which is pretty insane most days. I think I need to get this area done before I start working in here. Yeah. Well, those silky strings, the the polyester-ish ones or whatever, you can get that kind of cheap on AliExpress, except the problem was I don't remember if it's 2 meters. I can't remember what the lengths were that they were cut to, but they were all pre-cut, which upset me because you're supposed to be getting like 8 meters worth of each color kind of thing, but it was all pre-cut, and that was not useful to me at all. Um, the stuff we got in Thailand, the silky stuff, that stuff was not terribly expensive, and that is full skeins, so it's all kind of soft and fun and nice. All right. Wait, I need to slide this over just a little bit here. There we go. Yeah, now that stuff is awesome. Like we've messed with that. So the uh the synthetic silk, what is rayon? Yeah. The rayon that we had gotten was in the form of thread, and I used a machine that was supposed to be for making rope for model boats. There's like a little machine that spins like 4 or 6 little things all at the same time, and you can spin it into thicker strings. And then I made bracelets and stuff out of it. There was even some glow in the dark stuff of that. And those bracelets that I made from it actually lasted quite a long time. I have, there's one I think stuck to the wall up there somewhere. I don't know. It's I keep like all of my old bracelets. I don't know. I like that. They have special meaning to me. So, but yeah, that stuff really works out really nice. And it does feel nice that that stuff's made from tree bark, so it's natural. It's gonna break down and stuff. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, these other discs, I don't know much about like the whole other forms of the kumi stuff, but I think it would be really fun to learn. Yeah, yeah. It still ends up feeling nice. It still ends up looking nice. So, and it doesn't have to no little worms or whatever pupa get injured in the process. So, So I've got the Chemical Brothers playing in my ears right now, and man, this song seriously hypes me up. It was from an old video game called Nitrous Oxide for the PlayStation, which was absolutely so high speed and so insane, and probably one of my favorite games. Like, well, maybe not the favorite, but it was up there. There was a racing game was probably my favorite one. I don't remember what it was called, but the cars were really weird. There was like three-wheeled, and they had magnets and to help you stick to the track because there was loops. Oh, Killer Loop. That was what it's called. I remember now. Loved that game. Out of all the colors, I think the green in this one is probably the one that looks the darkest, which is kind of funny. Like darker than the blues, darker than the purples. It's so a lot of this. What makes this pattern a little bit easy to work on is it's almost like signals to tell you when to change direction. Like these greens changed when they hit the white, and it just makes this little diamond here. And then like this gray one's going to come all the way down. And then the white that's coming this way will stop when it hits to the green. So yeah. So these books on Japanese braiding, does none of them actually tell the secret of like tying the first two strands that cross each other into a knot and then to tie the last two so that way the piece that you have doesn't come undone? Because we've been doing that for a while now. And I tell you what, I mean, that's why the loops on all my bracelets and the bags and stuff actually look so cool. In fact, hang on, I want to get the strap. I'll show you guys. So because these were tied off the way they were, it can just tassel out like this. And you can see like the kumi is fine. You've got all the ends are just lopped off and it's not coming undone. It's not going to unravel because the one small knot at the end keeps that from happening. So like this actually saves so many headaches, and it's so, I don't know. But I don't see anybody else ever talking about it. Like I have seen other tutorials, and like when we were getting started, nobody ever told us. Um, I think it was just purely out of my own frustration that I was like, hang on, can we do something about this? Can we just tie this? And sure enough, it worked great. It's been the way that we've done it for, like I said, a long time now.
It would only work for the round braids though, the Congo gummies,
Right,
the
the
flat
flat ones
braids.
could not.
Yeah.
Yes, no, it's the way that the whole round ones are held together or whatever. Like that's a thing. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely true. Oh, right. Yeah. Still, I think just doing the last two strands just looks better because it's on both ends, the start and the end have the tassels. So yeah, it really, for the round ones, it's definitely the way to go. I still often still put an overhand knot over all of it if it's on the straps, just to help kind of assure that it stays together nice indefinitely. But it probably isn't necessary. It would probably look really cool the other way and just kind of leave it. Um, Maybe I do that with this bag. I don't know. Yeah, so yeah, if you become a member, you get to actually see some of the behind the scenes stuff. So what will basically happen is I will do the pattern video, and then I will cut up a bunch of string to actually make what it'll be for the bracelet itself, and then get it all set and prepared for Mandy. She will go and make the kumi loop while I start either on another video or perhaps making another bracelet or whatever else is on the schedule for that day. And then I get these little baskets back with the strings on these things, these little bobbins. And it looks like this, where Mandy's done the kumi, and then I put together the bracelet. And somehow that teamwork turns into me being productive and getting a lot of stuff done. Yeah, I wouldn't, it would really kind of mess up the way that my bracelets start if I didn't have those little knots keeping the braid in its confined little space, if that makes sense. Like that's, but those little knots allow me then to set up the rest of the strings to go into these projects and keep everything nice and clean looking. Because otherwise, it would just,
Pull
they would start to
out what you
unravel.
had in that bobbin
What's
just to
that?
show like the flat. Pull out the loop that is
Sure.
in that bobbin.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just show off
So
the.
then you can see like the strings, um, they're the kumi here isn't going anywhere. And then I can set up these strings to go in any which way that I want. So yeah, it really does make the whole thing work. It changed how we have it because way back, way back when, back 80s, I was talking to somebody about I wanted to be the best bracelet maker there was, and they told me that I needed to improve because way back then, I wasn't caring about the loops. I only cared about what was coming out of the bracelet work. And this gal told me that I needed to at least, if I was going to have a professional look, I needed to braid my loops at least, so that way that part looked as nice as well. And I was like, oh, that totally makes sense. Like that is part of the bracelet. And then when I finally saw these kumis, I was like, oh, that's even cooler. Like that is the braid that I want my loops to be made out of because those look so much cooler. And so that became the thing. Like the only reason I would use like a regular braid or anything else is if I had less than 8 strands. But because I double up my floss, it would have to be a really tiny little bracelet for that to ever even happen. So yeah, Yeah, all of them get it, the same kind of treatment now, and I like it that way. I like the look. Um, it just elevates it all. And then when we, have like straps for bags and stuff that actually match the loops and stuff, that I mean, that's a really fun look. Oh man, the song that's playing I haven't heard in ages. It's I should know the name of this one. Don't The Sun and the Moon. Wait, what is? Oh, it's called Oh Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's um it's from the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Boom, 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 boom. Well, thank you. Yeah, it's kind of funny because you're right. There is a certain kind of look to my work where a lot of people will see it and just kind of know that it's mine. But I mean, I teach this stuff, so it's not like I'm trying to keep it to myself. There's no, um, I have done nothing to try to keep anybody else from trying to come up to this level of anything. So, I mean, I've even given patterns to some of the biggest projects I've ever made. So if somebody wants to try, you can. In fact, what I'm working on right now, the pattern and everything is over in the website, and I'm encouraging everybody to go grab the string and join me in making this. Um, because I only do it 3 hours every Saturday, you could potentially get yours done before mine. And I'd be fine with that. That's. Yeah. So like earlier today, I I found a few patterns to potentially kind of mix together and do things with. Some of them I want to double, some of them I want to mix two
Did you say
patterns
a few?
together. Huh? Yeah,
Did you say a few?
yeah. So I actually ended up getting Mandy to help me with it because it was kind of hard to inject the images into a spreadsheet and add the pattern number. So there was just over 400. And if I mix and match those, the number of combinations possible ends up I have the potential for enough work to last me a couple of years at least. So yeah, it's uh it's a little bit crazy. Trying to figure out the nut. Is it the half hitch? Is this the one I'm doing now? It's I think it's in that family. I'm not sure. Oh, just a square. Oh, that one. Yeah, no, that's just a square nut. There's just well, okay. Some people call that a square. I think. Oh no, no. Yeah, that one is totally a square. I was gonna say there's like a reef knot, but that's the other for the other thing. Yeah, no, just a square knot. Put the first two strings that cross over each other, square knot them. The last two strings to cross, square knot them. That's all it takes. Nothing, nothing crazy. Mountains are enormous, but they all have a top. It's up to someone with a dream to come and reach them. Yeah, so, okay, so the ones I'm doing now, there's essentially four. And I will demonstrate what all four of them are. Okay, so this is going to go to the left. So this white is going to go over this gray, and it's going to make, if we look at this like the number 4, it's like a backwards 4, right? So I kind of hold it between my fingers. I come under, grab a hold of that strand and pull it through. And I do that twice. And that will bring me down to the left. And I'm going to do the same exact thing on the next strand. And you always start at the highest points and you work your way down. So I'm going to go do the same thing over that one and the same thing over this one. Now I've gotten to the blue. This knot is going to go in two different directions. First, I'm going to go to the left just like we did. So the same figure 4 backwards. And now we're going to go the other direction. So it's a figure 4 as a figure 4 would be. So this time I come around my finger this way. And that's, so half of it went to the left and then half of it to the right. Now, yeah, there's the forward, backward, then the forward, backward, and the backward, forward. Yes. But it's not fair to call them forwards and backwards because if you're left-handed, your forward would be somebody else's backward. That's why I like to call it left, right, and right, left. Because that's more fair to anybody. Even if you're left-handed, you still know your difference between your left and your right. So yeah, this one goes in a regular figure 4 style. And that brings it to the right. And then when I get down to this purple one, I will go partially to the right and then partially to the left. And I know that it's the forward backward thing, right? That is really super common. That is like every other website will tell you that, but doesn't feel fair. I have friends who are left-handed. I get the plight that they go through. I get how everything that they know and do is called backwards. They call it, if you're a skateboarder, they call it goofy foot. It's all weirdly worded in favor of the right-handed people. And I would really like to break that trend and just call the knots what they are. A right hand, knots going to the right, knots that go to the left, or ones that have a combination of those two things. So. And I'm back at that thing where I'm trying to figure out which direction does this go again? Wait, what? Hey, Vaughn. Vaughn is over here on the other one. Oh, Vaughn is saying he's back. Me, wait, Sean? Is that Sean that's on a different account? They're saying me. I don't know who me is. From like 2-3 weeks ago. Well, welcome back. Hang on. I need to make sure I'm doing this right. Oh, Jenny. Oh, okay. Hi. Yeah, so doing really super, super long kumis would drive me insane. Not just because um the redundancy of it. Oh, check that out. The 1 in 1,000 just hit, honey.
Yeah, I see.
We've been looking to see how frequently something like that would hit. That's really cool. Um, not just because of the repetitiveness, but something about the motion in the kumi is very different from what I'm used to. And over long durations, doing the kumi braids actually start to bother my shoulders. I don't know what part of the repetition is the cause for that, but it totally happens, and it takes a lot of the fun out of it. Don't like. I'm gonna do this little area over here because it'll let me bring the longer row down. Yeah, so there's two streams going on. We've got a vertical stream and we have a horizontal screen, and the majority of the people who are having fun chatting are over on the horizontal. But Bon's over here having fun with the vertical, so that's cool. Mind you, the horizontal one is the one that if you actually say the right thing in the chat, you can win stuff. So that's kind of the incentive, is that we have a couple bracelets that can be won by chatting, and if you just happen to say the right word, you win it, which is super awesome. One of them was made by me, one was made by Minute Craft, who appears to not have been able to make it here tonight, which is, that happens. Busy people doing busy people stuffs. So yeah, most of everything I know about this knotting is pretty much all self-taught. Um, the only thing that I was taught was how to make the knot that goes to the right, that little figure four thing. And I was cool with that. I was making these little stripy bracelets, and I just thought it was fun, and it was very therapeutic, and I liked it. But then I went to a concert, and there was a lot of people wearing bracelets. It was a uh, Grateful Dead concert, so like these bracelets were super popular with that crowd. And I saw other bracelets, and so my brain was trying to. Well, hang on, Vaughn wants a hint. A hint, it would be. It's got something to do with making bracelets. It's got something to do with my brand or the stuff I talk about. That's your hint for the secret word game. But anyways, so I thought they were super therapeutic, and I'm making bracelets and whatever, and I see these really cool ones, and I'm trying to figure out like how on earth are they getting all these patterns, and what is that all about? And then it was super late. It was crazy, crazy late, like 4 in the morning kind of thing. Um, I go to lay in bed, and there was this epiphany that suddenly happened where I was like, wait, if I tie the knot backwards, it would go the other direction. And I kind of almost wanted to get up and just deal with this at that moment. But I'm like, no, I'll just wait till morning. And then the next morning, like 7 a.m., I wake up. I can't sleep anymore. I've got to try it. And sure enough, I was making chevrons. And before I even finished the bracelet, I stopped it. I made the rows come smaller and smaller, and then brought it from the other sides to change the direction, which was the start of a pattern that kind of looked like this, right? Because it went smaller and smaller and smaller, and that let me change the direction, and I went on it. But then, um, after having seen that, I turned that into basically this pattern, and rocked that for a little while. And then, yeah, so most all this stuff I know is because I got excited and started playing with this. And yeah, I'm really glad I did. I really, it like I said, it's therapeutic. Like there are times Mandy and I have gone on holidays, and um, I just bring some string along in case, whatever. It helps me with my anxiety issues. It's it's just relaxing to me. Um, except for the part where I get really excited about an idea and I can't wait to make it. That part's that's kind of the opposite of the relaxing part, but it's I don't know. It's what I do. It's what I enjoy. I like this stuff. So yeah, I don't know that Mandy does anything that's even considered speed kumi other than the fact that I'll give her stuff for loops, and like it feels like moments later she's passing it back to me. I'm thinking like, okay, I'm just gonna whip up 3 patterns, give her the stuff, and then wait, you're back, you're done with all that? Okay, I guess I go make bracelets now.
The future? Don't remind me. I haven't finished learning all the robot safety protocols yet.
That sounds dangerous. If our bot is not up to current state safety standards, are we even safe? Is that what we're calling it? The wake up wrench? Nice. All right, so now I basically unlocked this area, which allows me to bring down this stuff in much longer rows. Instead of like stopping part way, I can actually bring down the row all the way, which actually will help make this go faster. Yeah, I don't know if our bot flirts and is. Yeah, so Stream Elements is part of the bot, and then Sammy became the other part. So like he's bot 2.0. The Elements thing is supposed to let me know when we get new subscribers and all that kind of good stuff. There's I have like so many little things running in the background to try to help make the overall experience and stuff more fun and interactive and all that. So see, now that one goes back. Once it hits the purple, that makes that nice and easy. That means this gray will stop on the gray right before that. Some of the scissors in this house I wouldn't care about running with, but I have a couple pairs of scissors around here that they demand a lot more respect, especially those little pointy ones that I have. Like those ones, those are no joke. Like if you get your skin anywhere near that thing closing, it's gonna get you. You know which one I'm talking about, honey? The one that
Mhm.
the ones that we got down in town.
Mhm.
I have a whole family of these. Hang on. So this little one here, this one will get you. This one will mess you up. It is wicked sharp and it's wicked pointy, and that one will get you. Then this one, the semi-related one, you can see it's been used a lot because that gold plating has gotten pretty much all completely worn off. This is my go-to pair of scissors. And then, if that wasn't enough, I've got the Big Daddy version, which, yeah, I wouldn't mess with those. This one will, yeah, that'll take some meat off the bone. And somehow I have Baby Shark in my mind now. Baby Shark, do, 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 baby. I can't help myself. I just, yeah. Anyway, I can do that because I'm organized, and those are all just over there in the airplane trolley. So. Are we trying to show how dangerous? I live in Yishun. Top that one, guys. Detroit, psh, nothing to it. I'm in Yishun now.
I don't think anybody out there will get that.
Somebody, some point, will end up watching this video and be like, yo, dude. Gangsta. Okay, so now up here at the top, again, this is, you always have to work from the top coming down, right? So this blue up here was the two strands at the very top of this diamond. And these ones, the blue changes immediately when it gets to the color white. And that's basically why it only ever does this little tiny diamond thing. And then inside, this just gets one little gray dot. There we go. The blue will come in and close off this a little diamond, and then the gray will come around it. So it doesn't matter at this point if I started with the left-hand side of the diamond or the right-hand side to actually bring the gray down. That's entirely up to the person making it. I tend to stay with whichever side I was actually working on before. It's maybe just slightly faster because you know that those strands are already kind of sorted out from the previous row. But it doesn't matter. It's fine. Okay, so now this one, white, goes to where the blue is, and then it bounces. Again, there's certain cues that just makes all this stuff a bit easier. I know this white one is going to go down over the gray and over the other white one and stop there. Then the gray is going to come over it. Like that. Then I can bring this gray down. So it's a gray over the gray. A gray over white. And a gray over gray. Now, when you come to a spot where it's like this, right, there you have gray on either side, it really does not matter which direction you go with it. It does help to have consistency, but it's not mandatory. Most of the time, nobody would ever notice the difference unless they look at the back of your bracelet. So, yeah. So now I can bring this white one down. And along here, it's pretty much alternating. It's just like gray, then white, then gray, then white. The one key thing that would really kind of mess people up and that gives people the biggest trouble is kind of keeping track of like where you are on the pattern, as well as keeping track of where the highest point is. Like in this case here, right? We can bring all these strings out and we can bring this right here between this green and this gray. This is the highest point, and that is what's going to come down here. Not mandatory. Nice. But on the other side, see, this is where it might look a little bit confusing. The other side, the high point is up there by where the blue in the corner was. So that looks very, very different. Again, it's something that you sort of get the feel for after a while. Because if you get it out of order, if you try to bring the gray here down, everything up here is a mess and broken and not how it should be. So that's why some people have to work in small areas at a time and not do these great big segments, because it's hard for them to kind of keep track of where that high point is. But in time, it becomes more natural. You start to spot it. You start to find shortcuts to making it easier. And then at that point, I think the whole art becomes a whole lot more enjoyable. Everything you can. Just take some time and everything will be all right. Everything you can. Just take some time. Everything will be just fine. Everything. I think we have almost made our way all the way around this thing. If not, it'll be coming up soon, but I'm pretty sure we're really close to it because I remember having done the red, and I think that's what comes after that pinkish purpley thing. I don't think I can be in trouble for actually me singing it, but I would get in trouble if I played the version that I can hear. I can because we have friends who are musicians, and one of them has a YouTube channel, and he's continually doing covers, and he's doing covers like as close to the original as he can, and he can sing and he can play guitar. So yeah, he's not in any trouble doing covers. So me singing along will not hurt because there's no chance I'm even close. Like, yeah. But like I know like there's a channel I enjoy, Roomy Official, and yeah, he gets copyright takedowns all the time because he's reviewing music or explaining elements of music and how it harmonizes or how they get certain effects, or judging people's voices, or times where famous people got caught doing lip syncs. And yeah, so he's using other people's material, and so yeah, it hurts his channel a lot, which is unfortunate because he's really good at what he does. I don't think it should be a problem because his videos are informative. He's not playing the music to just like take somebody else's music. He's talking about what it is about that music. So yeah, I just feel like that's wrong. I wonder how I'm going to end up counting like how far I am in this bracelet, because there's two basic ways I could go with that. One would be to count the number of this kind of S shapes coming down, or counting this little diamonds coming down. Either way would be correct, I suppose. But it's haven't quite figured out which is the easier one to figure out where I am in the bigger scheme of things. Mind you, though, some of the music I listen to probably would get me in trouble. Like what I'm listening to right now, there's a little bit too much adult content and violence and stuff that would probably get me in trouble. I'm thinking about there's an extension thing that I could do to be able to make it where you guys can actually see what songs are playing. I'm pondering putting it in. I just don't know where it would pop up in the on the screen or whatever, because it actually puts it on the screen. Hey, just string things made it. Hello. Good morning. Oh, I haven't. I, you know what? I need to. I wish Mandy had access to my note thing because you're right. I need to get the music game going again. Those were fun. Nice. Yeah, I don't know how, but Mandy and I are friends with quite a number of musicians. Um, yeah, I don't know how that's even possible. Like there was one year for Mandy's birthday, um, I had gotten this musician that was supposed to sing happy birthday to her, and um, it was this outdoor venue that we were going to be going to, and it was raining, and we were kind of trying to stay in these corridors or whatever. And he runs into us, and he's like, "Oh, hang on," and he pulls out his ukulele and just kind of serenades us off. Like, yeah, well, like the whole show is basically kind of on hold, but he's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, hang on." Crazy stuff, man. That was probably the most stressful birthday that I ever did a thing for Mandy. I basically worked out the music thing and her friends to show up and all this stuff. And I'm not good with surprises. Like I am the worst, man. I can't wait to open presents and, like wait till a particular day. Are you kidding? You can't leave that thing in front of me. Kind of thing. And yeah, that was probably the worst. And then Mandy was actually in a music video back in the day. Well, that was like actually like on MTV and everything. Like she's a star. Nice. So you can see now, I was right. The red area was already done. We've already got a big chunk of this over here. That video is still available through YouTube and stuff, right? With you in it?
Probably.
I I I know it was Jack and Ray doing the singing, right?
Mhm.
But I don't remember the song title. I just remember being
Let's
super
wait.
proud.
Let me see if I can find it. It was for World AIDS Day.
flavors are guaranteed to satisfy. Banana, Dixie cup. Oh, I was saying push-ups too. I'm the ice cream man. Pass me a all my flavors are guaranteed to satisfy. Did you ever find the video?
Still looking.
You don't know how to add videos? Music to your videos. Wait, so you want to have like background music in videos that you produce? Is that the aim? Because I can kind of tell you a bit on how to do that. Oh, oh,
Ouch.
ow. That's not cool, man. Don't do that. Because, yeah, eventually this channel is going to get music back on it. That's going to be maybe even next week. We'll see. So wait, where is Joanne publishing videos that she wants to add music to? That's also, Joanne, are you using a computer or are you trying to do everything off of a phone? Because that would be a big difference as to how you might do it. Scissors are safer than hot curling irons. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Really got me so I don't know where I'm going. Okay.
Oh, I found it. Hmm.
You found it?
Yes, it's on Facebook. Hang on.
Well, believe it or not, I haven't been around a curling iron for a number of years, so I think I'm pretty safe with that sort of thing. In fact, don't really spend a lot on hair product things in general, so yeah. Oh, yeah, and you're going to have a hard time getting access to that. Huh. I was recently reminded, talking to somebody about adventures in America, and I knew the couple who burned down their house because of a curling iron. And they were your typical family. They were making good money, both had decent jobs. They were okay. And but they weren't super doing super well, like to the point that at that time of the accident, they had to make some choices between paying medical bills and or paying home insurance. And they had made the wrong choice. They did not pay their home insurance, and so the house burned down, and they weren't insured. Still owed money on the house. Lived out of their car for a little bit, which of course led to them losing their jobs because, well, you kind of need to have a shower to stay employed, essentially. And so their life spiraled out of control, savings, you know, up and gone. They still owed for the house, despite the fact that it's gone. They can't sell it, do whatever anymore. Um, and their lives completely went to hell over a curling iron. It was the weirdest thing. So when like Americans talk about like they don't want these safety nets because people will abuse it and people are terrible and no free handouts and all this kind of stuff. It just my take is you're an accident away from being in a really bad way. And I 100% support the notion that tax dollars should go towards helping people get out from, these problems and things. And that more so than, say, you know, endless amounts being thrown at the military kind of thing. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I did it for a little while. I lived in a car, if you can believe it. Had a Pontiac Sunfire and little tiny car. And if you imagine, is I'm 6'4", trying to sleep in the back seat of a car was terrible, and it was stupid cold winter in Michigan. I would wake up and there'd be a layer of frost on the inside of the windows from the moisture from my breath. So yeah. So there used to be like programs to help people with those situations and stuff. And they'd always kind of lump them together. Like Pontiac, Michigan was the place where people who ran into trouble or whatever would end up, to keep them out of the other areas where people didn't want them, right? Which made it really difficult because if you plunk all the people that are destitute in one area, the jobs and stuff for them just aren't going to be there because everybody's lumped is trying to get out of their situation. That it gets really bad. Anyways, yeah, there used to be. The last time I fell into hard times, there was not. There was no money for it. There was no programs involved. There was a church that was willing to kind of help me, but basically I would have to sell off all the rest of my possessions. I had too much stuff. I had clothes that would have been suitable for working in office environments and stuff. And just having really anything was just too much before they would be willing to actually, help. So yeah, it was the all of the stuff that they had in the 80s is relatively gone. And it's really unfortunate to me. It's there's like I've heard out in San Francisco, they're coming through and they are taking the tents away from the homeless people. Like it's bad enough that these people don't have a home. Now you're to in order to kind of make sure that your city looks better, you're going to make sure you're going to take away the one thing that these people have because their tents are an eyesore to you. It's just some of the things that there's in Florida. There's people being arrested for feeding people that would otherwise go hungry. You will get arrested for feeding them. It's the things I hear coming out of America just are the most disappointing things I can possibly imagine. The people who need the help can't get the help because other people think that that's, I don't know. And the people who fight it the most claim that they're religious, they're godly people. They it's I can't understand how they think any of this practicing is got anything to do with Jesus's teachings because it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you know, don't feed the poor because they'll only, come back for seconds or something. It doesn't, it's insane. I don't understand. Oh, don't let her fool you, rah rah. She's still just as beautiful.
They can see me.
I still can see you. Still think he's beautiful.
You've got those strange contact lenses, the rose tinted ones.
Oh no. Oh no. I brought the grays all the way down and I should have.
Is that an oops? It Yes.
So a blunt needle is great to have, and then we have a little braided thing on there just to make it easier to find it, which it matches.
So is this going to be a thing now? He oops
It
and then I
matches my
say
cup.
something sarcastic?
So I
Fine.
have the play
Nice
button
going,
on
dum-dum.
one side and AWOL on the other side of my cup. And this cup was kind of special. This is Mandy's mother used to use that cup. It's an actual old tin cup, like proper tin, not like I think now we use like, I don't even know what we use, but that's a proper tin cup that Mandy's mom used to use to measure out the rice to feed the family. And after she passed, we decided to save the cup and turn it into something cooler. And that's what it became. Actually, the sewing needle I use was made for like the bigger needle points. But yeah, those ones would work as well. I believe it or not, I know how to knit. That's one of my other little side hobby things. Except for it's just too hot to do it in Singapore. Like I liked knitting in the wintertime in Michigan. You end up with like a nice big thing, fuzzy thing sitting on your lap, keeping you warm. That's not great in a place where it's hot and humid. Oh man, talking about shelters, I do have a funny story. So way back in the day, I had to spend the night in a shelter. Um, it was that or being out on the street in the cold, and I still feel it's his fault. You know, the so to stay at this place, you had to listen to a sermon, which kind of sucks for a guy that kind of. Eh. But anyways, I'm listening, and then he asked a question. If you could ask God anything, what would you ask them? And my hand immediately went up. And he looked at me a little suspicious and called on somebody else. He called on a gal that was there. And she, man, she just softballed so hard that she just wanted to know that she had forgiveness. And boy, man, he was all over that. And he had scriptures and he had all kinds of stuff that he could turn to. And he was, he liked that. But nobody else raised their hand. And so he was left with me next. And I was like, if I could ask God anything, I would want to know out of the, several thousands different variations of religion, which one is the correct one? Which one would he have me follow? And a bunch of people chimed up with, yeah, that. Like, and dude, was like, why this one, of course? Like, out of all the thousands of religions, what makes you think that you're so sure about this? And he's like, do you want a place to stay for the night or not? I like, damn, that's tell me you're using your position. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, he didn't have his clever responses for me. Everybody that night was like, dude, that took some guts to, say that stuff, and shame on him. And it was pretty hilarious. Okay, so now we're into the next row. So I got to concentrate here for a moment while I figure out which direction this goes now. Yeah, now that I'm a little older, I have a lot of questions. Oh no, if it was a woman, I don't think it could be this messed up. Wait, where did the bot go? How is the bot not working? Somebody get the wrench.
Why did the computer keep sneezing? It had a virus.
Yeah, disease and viruses, that would be, a thing. Why so many people who do good things suffer so badly while terrible people seem to get away with stuff. Yeah, there'd be a lot of things. Okay, 5'2", that's that could be a good thing. Me growing up being almost always tall, if I was too hasty going downstairs to the basement in my sister's place, um, I would hit my head. Like there was a few times where I whapped it pretty good. Might explain a lot of things actually. But yeah, being tall is not necessarily the best.
Reminds me of the one time when you came to Singapore and you're on a bus, going to the back of the bus.
Oh yeah, and it had that sign that said about not bumping your head. Yeah.
Oh, the pole in Little India.
I was gonna say that was the one I thought you were gonna go for first. Like that time, the they had like awnings out to protect against the rain, and yeah, I came into contact with one of the bars really good. Like actually took a little chunk out on that one. That was yeah. Yeah, I'm 6'4". My brother was 6'6", 6'7". Um, yeah, my brother was very different from me. My brother was cesarean born. And you couldn't tell by looking at him, but whenever he left the house, he went out through the window.
That's so bad. Uh, well, being tall has
given me its fair share of troubles, mostly with my back. And the fact that I grew as quickly as I did, there was a lot of growing pains involved. So I know that there's a lot of people that wish they could be taller or whatever, but it's not all it's cracked up to be, I don't think. There's, Mandy is quite a bit shorter than I am, and together it kind of works out really well for us. If I need something that's down low or whatever, I get her to help me out, and if she needs something that's up higher, she gets me. That works out pretty well. Unless it's down low and it's heavy, and then, you know, that doesn't exactly work very well. But most of the time it works out good. I had pains because like the tendons were so stretched and so tight, like in the legs and in, the lower back area and things like that. Like it was I I one time went in for a physical and um it was like 2 months later I went back to the doctors because I was sick and I wanted to be measured again and they're like, look, you were just here, what is the point? You don't grow that quickly, kid. I'm like, still, it's been, it was like 3 months or something. I just wanted to see. They put me on the scale thing and measured, and they're like, wait, what the? And I was 2 inches taller. And they were just like, okay, never mind. Um, so yeah, I had some growth spurts, like real growth spurts. And yeah, I was almost this height in junior high. Like I stopped growing early teenage years. Yeah, I don't know where my original back problems came from. I remember like back in like the high school days going to the chiropractor kind of frequently and having issues and pain and such. Um, it's basically why I don't keep anything in my back pockets. I have since um, early 80s was recommended that was a problem. Like I had a really thick wallet and stuff. And so now I always have, everybody likes to call them fanny packs. I think it's a terrible name for it. It makes it just kind of bad, but whatever. The bag that you carry around your waist, I have had one for most of my life now because if I put anything in my back pockets over a prolonged period, I will hurt. Have a good one, Robert. That's I look forward to seeing this. I'm curious what a micro macrame bracelet looks like. I think we're gonna go. Yeah, it's your derriere. Love the back. Okay, so
Nope,
no,
that's not what it means.
really,
That might be what it means in the US.
I thought that was pretty much it everywhere. Once upon a time, those bags used to be people would wear it off their tush. I don't know who because I always
Right.
kept it in the front.
That's why the term for that kind of bag has never been called fanny pack
So
in
what do
the
they
US or in Singapore.
What do they call it here?
Waist bags, waist pouches, yeah, bum bags. That works too.
I like those all better. Yeah, I like my bag.
In the UK, I mean.
I have a good one. Well, I have two now. I have one that says "Don't break the Kevin," and I have another that's an actual, nice designer-ish one. So wait, what does fanny mean?
Not suitable for the stream, honey.
Okay, send it through
Go
the
bits.
WhatsApp. I need answers. Yeah, a bum bag sounds kind of but a little bit, yeah. That's like the wrong way around. Yeah, okay. I'm so confused by that because I have heard people saying about getting a swat on their fanny for acting up, which nobody gets a swat there. That's not very confusing. And my mom was from England, so how I don't know this is beyond me. It's a front bum. Okay. Wish just everybody would get on the same page and like get their slangs and terms all together so we can all have fun at once. Because, some of these terms don't work if, some humorous jokes won't work if we're not all on the same page. And there's so many missed opportunities too. Like there's some things I don't understand. Like Like, why do they call it scissoring, right? Why shouldn't that just be lip syncing? I don't. No. Well, just direct them to watch the stream and then they'll understand. Man, we are seriously getting some progress in here tonight. I, it kind of didn't feel like it last time. I mean, I think that has a lot to do with starting from scratch. But this is definitely feeling like a lot of progress here. Oh no. Wow, Joanne, that's really fun. That's I just saw a thing about women spies back during I don't know if it was the first war or the second war, using knitting um, as a way of communicating. And there was actually at one point a ban on sharing knitting patterns because of the possible communications that could be put into the the patterns. So yeah.
2 hours later.
Did not mean to frighten anybody. So the 2 hours later thing is after the stream has been running for the 2 hours, essentially at midnight, um, it chimes in to kind of let me know because um, I have time blindness. I can easily get wrapped up in whatever I'm making and forget all about eating or, well, pretty much anything, taking care of myself in general. So kind of set myself up with some alarms to try to help make sure, because we've had some instances where before I know it, it's midnight and I've forgotten to do all the things I'm supposed to do, like let people know about becoming a member so you can see behind the scenes and see additional stuff, as well as like all the future videos, all the videos that are yet to be released are available to members, as well as the Christmas ornament videos. Those are all out there for the members to watch. So that's a thing. We have Patreon, which is just another great way of helping to support the channel. I'm not nearly as active as I could be over there, but at one point I was trying to be very active, and then it seemed like everybody was like, dude, way too many notifications, stop. So I kind of cut back a lot. But I would help any of them if they ever had questions or wanted to know how to do something or whatever. I'd be super quick to help them out. Oh, and there was supposed to be a schedule made. I was supposed to do that today. I got really caught up in doing a whole bunch of other things, like 400 plus images of things that I think would be fun to work on. Yeah, I can I can screw up my sleep schedule so bad, um, just because I'm enthralled with a thing. Over on Discord, Robert? I'm guessing it has to be Discord. Oh, could be Facebook. My phone is on a do not disturbs at this hour because of live streaming. So I don't get notifications that interrupt the thing, so I don't know. But I will be checking that out, Robert. I'm kind of excited to see what that looks like. Actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Robert, you know how to do the wrapping stones. Am I right? I've had a strong interest in the craft on Messenger. Okay. I've had a strong interest in the craft of being able to um, wrap stones in the macrame. Um, and it kind of goes back to way back in the day. My sister was into stained glass, and when I found out like kind of how easy stained glass was, I went to the like I think it was the dollar store. They have these little round glass. It's like a marble that just didn't form properly. It's like kind of flattened out. Usually sold to put in vases. They look really pretty with like, when you have your flowers in there with these little glass bobble things. So I got a bunch of these things in a whole bunch of different colors. And then I used the silver tape and went around the edges. So again, they're just round. They're about a little bigger than a CM across. Kind of got a little indentation on the back, but they lay sort of flat. So I wrapped silver tape around it and I soldered a bunch of these things together, all to fit within a rectangular strip. That's what the window on our front door was a thin rectangular window. And so I stayed in the bounds of that. And I actually got it so close that when I stuck it into that space of the window, it kind of didn't need anything else to hold it in place. But I ended up using some caulk on the edges just to make sure it didn't fall out or anything. And it was beautiful. The light coming through it in the mornings would send all the colors like all over the place. It was gorgeous. But from that, I thought, wow, there is a lot of translucent stones. And I've seen these people who do macrame around a stone. If somebody was creative enough and had enough string and enough patience and the stones to do it, they could fill a window with a curtain-like effect, that the light coming through the stones would be gorgeous. And, obviously, connecting all this macrame together would take some doings. You would really have to kind of know your way around that. But if you could do that, it would be stunning. It would be so, so cool. And again, it's one of those things I've never seen anybody else do. And it's just inspired by something weird that I had never seen before that I did. But yeah, I really think that would be a great, like amazing thing to have. So, like for us at our house, it would make the most sense of having it on the other side of the house. Like this side of the house only gets sunlight during the winter months. During the summer months, the sun is too far that way, and we're shaded by the other part of the building. But the east side of our house, every morning, the sun pretty much beams through that. So something like that would be really fun to have over there. But if it was going to be like in one of our windows and stuff, I suspect we would probably want the strings to be like synthetic and something that we could weather very well, because all of our windows are very frosted already. So you couldn't really put it over top of the window unless you took and like replaced it with like regular glass. So then the only way to make it really beam or whatever would be that it would have to be across the open window. So we would have some limitations about having it, but who knows? When Mandy and I end up leaving this place to go on to our own home after her father passes, who knows what kind of windows we'll have and what we'll do to them. Oh man, so thinking about the timers and stuff, I have to put timers now on when I'm making the bracelet videos, like the for the time lapse things, because if I don't, um, basically the files just get so big, it's so super hard to upload. So yeah, right. Oops. Actually, I can see Discord midstream. Oh, that's gorgeous. Yeah, that's way cool. Wow. So the seashells, those are like a bead? And does that string have to be like a nylon in order to hide the ends when yeah, that's awesome. Actually, thank you, Robert, because anybody who's not um, already on our Discord might actually want to see that, and now they're going to join the Discord, and all because of you. So yeah, you're helping. Yeah, a bikini and a chess set. I want to see the chess set. That sounds fun. The bikini could be fun. Not gonna lie, that can be,
But you can picture the bikini, you can't picture the chest set.
right. There you go. I may have seen a few bikinis. So I have to admit, like the way that this thing changes directions, it's a little. It just makes it a little bit more tedious. It's a little extra. It makes it just a little bit harder. But the effect, it's really, to me, I just think this looks really, really cool. I don't know. I mean, I like it. It's cool. Mind you, it is far more challenging. Yeah, so anybody who's not already over on my Discord, you should probably join, check it out. They're posting under the works in progress. Robert's making some really cool earrings and some jewelry with what looks like some pretty tiny, tiny string, which is awesome. And then Rainbow is embroidering a one of the plague doctors that's
Cross
embroidering.
stitch.
What's that? Would you say, huh?
Cross stitching.
Yeah. town. Oh, my. Oh, hell yes. Get me on your party dress. Drink, sing me a song. Yeah. Dance with Mary Jane. One more time to kill the pain. Down again. Oh, those are very cool. Is that, are those beads? Are those little knotted string beads? Wait, I lost my cursor. My cursor went off to the void again. Can I move this? Oh, I can. Yeah, it's kind of meta. And these, we did this earlier. Did the thing again where I went too far. Dreadlock beads? Um, yeah, okay. So once upon a time, I had dreadlocks in my hair. I still could grow hair in the back. I choose not to. So I could potentially, if I wanted to wear beads, I could. Or I could do I have considered doing the samurai square thing. Have you guys ever seen like the statues where the guy is completely bald except for that one little square in the back? I have considered that. My wife won't let me, but I've thought about it. Um, but those beads would be really cool um, to add to the bags that have the flap to them. Yeah, I'm trying to think where, if I have an image available to demonstrate that. I kind of not handy, but yeah, I've made some bags that of various kinds, and those would make a really fun button for that kind of thing. I do have wigs. Actually, we might have some fun new stuff for the next time the Halloween comes along. Speaking of, um, to those who have members, um, take a look for the thumbnail that basically kind of almost has me on the front. Kind of more or less the virtual me on the front. I'm kind of half tempted. So yeah, there's a virtual me now. I would be half tempted in using it for the live streams, except it kind of falls apart if I stop to get a drink, or I would have to possibly keep hitting the be right back if I want to do anything other than just sit here and talk to you guys. But yeah, I've done I've done some silly stuff for the sake of videos when you think about it. Some of the Halloween streams. The Halloween short was probably the best, right? The candy corn for brains. That was awesome. Right on. That's pretty cool. Mandy made shoelaces for me out of this really strong. I think it Eslan. Is it Eslan? It's not nylon. It's Eslan. Made shoelaces for me because my shoes were black and white, and they're Doc Martens, so they got that yellow. She put all that into the strings, which makes them look really, really super cool. Not that everybody would even necessarily notice, but I know it's there, and I think it's cool. Yeah. Well, it needs to be thin to have. How many strands were there? It was more than 8, right? You did a 12 strand?
I think so.
Yeah. So to be able to have a shoelace that's got 12 strands, it has to be thin. Yeah. Well, technically, you could probably use single stranded embroidery floss as well if you really wanted to for the micro stuff because that's kind of technically pretty small as well.
Yeah, but you couldn't burn the ends.
Oh, that's true. That's right. Right. Yeah, you can't melt it. Um, wait. This one went that way. So this is coming down and around this side? I don't know why the concept of these things flipping destroys my brain, but man. Yeah, believe it or not, we have a lot of that Chinese cord stuff around here, especially around Chinese New Year's. I have, I don't know if you guys can see it. I have a bit of that. Can you guys? No. Yeah, so there's only the tassel. Wait, where's the eye? Right there. There's only the tassel is in view, but above that there is a Nico cat that's got a fancy Chinese knot above it. Yeah, the cat was what Mandy and I put together um, this week while away at the staycation. Small things, truth share, truth brings. I think inside your mind. Always, I know you'll be at my show, watching, waiting, commiserating. It ain't so, I'm not go. Turn the lights out, carry me home. That's makes sense. Marry me. Na 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 na. Dad rock? Is that a thing now? Can't get frustrated. Turn and point a fork stuck in the road. Takes you by the breast, directs you where to go. Make the best of this desk and don't ask why. A question, but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, and in the end there's right. I hope you had the time of your life. Wait, who is this one? Green Day, yes. Take a photograph since they're best in your life. Wow. Then what the hell is like Pantera or Black Sabbath? Wait, don't tell me classic rock. Ouch.
No.
Hope you had the time of your life. Do. Do. Do, do, do. Ouch. And there's right. I know you had the time.
Plotting something evil? No, I'm just here trying to calculate the value of pi.
society in line. You waste my time. Right on. I listen to almost all forms of rock, many forms of rap. I was into like when they were calling this some of that stuff new age, um, alternative, um, a lot of the older rock. I grew up in the 70s, so like a lot of like some of the favorite stuff, was the older stuff like Boston and that kind of rock. Um, there's like so much music that I enjoy. I do not, however, enjoy country music. Um, I think it's pretty much the only one I really don't care much for. I like drum and bass. I like a lot of techno stuff. I really enjoy a lot of like the Chemical Brothers and uh, that one album from the Prodigy. The Jolted one is not. I didn't enjoy that as much, but the one with the crab on it, I like that one a lot. Saw them after they released that album. Bots will do bot things. Um, Bee Gees were fun. They, I always joked about the Bee Gees wearing their pants just a little too tight, and that's how they got those voices. When I was young, big fan of Donny Osmond, um, and the oldest thing I probably ever had the album of was Alan Sherman. If you're not familiar with who Alan Sherman is, um, he was what Weird Al Yankovic is, um, before Weird Al Yankovic was born. Probably, well, I assume born, but I don't know. He was taking songs and changing up the words or giving words to that didn't have any words and like, putting really funny stuff in there. Yeah. So a lot of fun stuff in that. And they were clever jokes. So yeah, I really had an appreciation for the fact that, using language very well in that. That was a lot of fun. But I was the kid who like listened to all of the lyrics. So like when other friends were like, I really like this song, and it's like, yeah, really? Because that one's kind of weird. Wait, we just heard it while we were away with Mandy. What was that one? Lola. Lola, Lola. If you know this song, but you don't know what it's about, you should stop and listen to the words a little bit because dude just barely leaves home, ends up at a bar with Lola, and he can't figure out why he looks like a woman but talks like a man. Oh, Lola. So yeah, that one was like a lot of friends really enjoyed it, but they never listened to the words. They didn't get the thing. Oh, and there was another one. What was the oh, that guy, he was so not good looking. He had a similar song about oh, it was stuff at a bar too. What the hell was that one? I'll try to remember that one for next week. I can. Oh, it's Lou Reed. What was the big song from Lou Reed? Lou Reed was not a good looking guy. Walk on the Wild Side. That one's got some lyrics that make you go, Dude looks like a lady. That I just found out. Dude looks like a lady from Aerosmith was written about Vince. I can't think of his name. Not from Rat. What was? I just found out that one. It was one of the other rockers, one of the other ones who had the long hair during that whole era. Now you need to know that one too. Hang on. Of course, none of the things here. Oh, wait, here's the guy. Wait, show me this guy's name. Vince Neil from Motley Crue. Yeah, I mean, even I had long hair back then. It was supposed to be Vince Neil from Motley Crue. Saw him in a bar. Dude looks like a lady. I mean, Vince Neil kind of went way out of the way. He was beyond just long haired. Everything was a little bit weirder back then. Yeah, Aerosmith sang it, but it was about Vince Neil from Motley Crue was the dude who looked like a lady. Which, to be fair, like the image that everybody uses for that. Um, my phone's in black and white because it's evening and my phone does that. But yeah, dude was a little much. Good years though. A lot of good music back then. And I get a live down here. Go away all this pain. To every night all in vain. In vain. I cannot feed it like this. It's my life I can't take. Oh, so back to Alan Sherman. So I had the album from Alan Sherman, which was called "My Son the Nut," which had the song "Hello Mother, Hello Father," and but it had a lot of other great ones in there. Like I absolutely loved the entire album. But the album cover, the guy is absolutely buried in like the mixed nuts that you would have for like Christmas time, like that whole all the walnuts and all the different ones. He's buried up to his head in it, and I stared at that cover for so many hours trying to figure it out. Like, is he inside of a dump truck, or how did they pull that off? It really, really kind of got to me as a kid. Like I loved it because no matter how much I tried, there was absolutely zero clue as to how they pulled off this image. So if you've seen my profile picture on Facebook or anywhere else, or my business cards, well, I have one of those here. That was the inspiration for this. That's where that came from. I'm buried in floss, and there is no sign anywhere in the image of how that is even done. I can tell you how it's done. I had a boatload of embroidery floss. So yeah. But yeah, that was Alan Sherman was the influence for that. So apparently I did this more than once where I brought the dark ones down because that's pretty instinctive with most of my patterns, but this pattern is different. So something takes a part of me. You and I were meant to be. Something takes a part of me. Part of me.
So is this going to be a thing now? He oops and then I say something sarcastic? Fine. Nice going dum dum.
If you guys could hear the drums, you'd know it's coming. sickness. Get down with the sickness. Get down with the sickness. Probably not. I don't think anybody does. So I kind of mumble to myself. Get me down with the sickness. So the song is Down with the Sickness, and if anybody hasn't heard it, what's that guy's name? Something Cheese? What's the guy that does the cover for Down with the Sickness? It is absolutely the best cover. Richard Cheese does Down with the Sickness. That is absolutely the best. Yes. Yes, it is brilliant. It is so good. He does so many songs that are absolutely just so good. Dude is hilarious. He covers them like the Sinatra era songs. But yeah. Okay, so now this one, this is a good one. This is probably back into that friggin' dad rock. It's not fair though. It's Black Hole Sun. You scream again. Great video. I loved the special effects used in this video. Black hole sun, won't you come? Won't you come? Won't you come? Daughter red, coldest day. Yeah, Soundgarden is amazing. What wasn't one of the guys from Soundgarden in one of the super groups? What was the super group where they like handpicked a bunch of the legends like that and put them together? Like there was a couple. I know one of the super groups had Tom Petty and Roy Orbison and a bunch of those guys, but there was another super group. Aw, that's kind of cool. Audio Slave, that was it. No, there was a little duration beyond the whole band. Yeah, there was the Band-Aid was a pretty neat one, but there was a duration where some of the record labelers, yeah, Traveling Wilburys. Yep, that was one of the supergroups for sure. Yep. Yeah, yeah. I just remember like there was a brief moment of some very legendary music coming out where just some of the greatest musicians were just getting together and doing. Then there was wait, what was the event where Prince got together with some of the greats and Prince just goes into some amazing, somebody was being indoctrinated into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and Prince was there, and Tom Petty and Eric Clapton and a bunch of them were all getting down. That was another one of those just whoa. Oh, I bet you that was kind of cool. Yeah, I like Guns N' Roses. Yeah, I just saw the video from that one with Prince just the other day and just reminded of like just how amazing he could be. And that was just wow. All right, we got about 5 minutes left. Doesn't give me a whole lot of time for anything real. But I can use this time, if I use it wisely, to remind everybody that yes, I will be working all this week. I will take Wednesday off to just kind of get out of the house, but I'll be around if you guys want to hang out with me. You know, all you gotta do is join the member thing. It's down there next to the subscribe button. It's like $5 a month to be a member. It helps the channel. It helps me to buy floss. And I do want to thank my Patreon supporters and my YouTube members who are making this all possible. I may be monetized on YouTube, but it really is not paying me a awful lot. And yeah, I'm trying to put together some stuff where I can do some more giveaways and stuff like that. That was with the whole when you saw the 1 in 1,000 thing earlier. We're kind of testing out how to get the bot to do some giveaways for us. So that's going to be a thing that's coming up down the line. Other than that, not too much else going on with the hangouts and stuff that we typically do. Those are at the beginning of the month, so we got a little bit of time left on that one. But if I end up working on something where I'll turn on the Discord and you guys can chat with me if you're into that kind of stuff as well. So that's always a possibility. Anything else I'm forgetting, honey?
I don't think so.
I always have this feeling like I'm forgetting something. I have no idea. But yeah, I'll be back again next week, next Saturday, same time, 10 p.m. Singapore time. That can be whatever time it is in your zone. I have no idea. I'm terrible at time zones. But yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I really have enjoyed tonight. You guys are a lot of fun to hang out with. I love the whole prompting the bot and going down memory lanes on music and all this stuff. That's a lot of fun. So yeah. In a moment here, SpongeBob is going to remind me that I need to go help him. That's another one of my timers. So might as well wait for that. But yeah, and get this road done maybe. It'll look better for the photo. Something's wrong with me. 2, nothing wrong with me. 3, nothing wrong with me. 4, nothing wrong with me. 1, something's got to give. 1, something's got to give. 3, something's got to give. Cool. Let's spin this around so we can see the area that's done more. Look at that. That just looks so cool. Something's got to give. It's me adjusting to the new meds. Oh my God, yes, I have seen that. Oh, wait, that wasn't a parrot, that was a cockatoo. And yeah, head banging, a head pairing cockatoo to Drowning Pool. That was epic. That's like legendary stuff. Like that's. Yes. It'd have to be pretty big. There's a hill in China that's 7,200 steps, and everybody was dying. But then we saw this dude with a great big balloon of helium that was making his backpack extra light. And I figured that's the only way I'm getting up that hill.
In a bunch again.
All right, guys. You guys have a good one. And as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.
Hey. Can we talk about this? I could just be quiet and not bother you. I.